Alright, we are back with our professional guide to Grounded. This time we are going to go through the Tier 2 weapons gear. We're going to get some better armor. We're going to do the second floor of the base, and then we're going to close with the Hedge Lab. And a few other things in between. So the first thing that we are going to start out with is actually get a pet. So, as I said before, there are 3 pets that you can get. You can get the aphid, the weevil, or the gnat. And we're going to go with the weevil, because that is the easiest. So for a weevil, you will need mushroom slurry, and it's best if I actually do make a few, because they don't always become your pet on the first try. So what you do is the weevil takes the mushroom slurry, aphid takes the plant slurry, and the gnat takes the spoiled meat. What you do is that you just find one of them, and you press, it's either G or you right click to drop it in front of them, and you wait. Hopefully they will begin to eat it. Sometimes it might take more than one. I say the weevil is the easiest because they're perfectly passive. They're not skittish like the aphids, and they're not annoying and flying around like the gnats. With the aphids, you do have to employ a bit of strategy. You need to probably your best bet is to chase one up a piece of grass so you know where one is. Lay down your slurry and then back away so you don't scare it off when it comes down to eat it. And if you need to do more than one, then I would back away and lay down a line of slurry and just keep a distance so you don't scare it away. Now, the biggest thing that you can do with mushroom slurry is you can make mushroom bricks. And once you make bricks, that opens up a whole other avenue of base building. You can get walls, doors, all that kind of stuff. And it's an important defense. It's the strongest kind of defense that I employ. Of course, there are stronger ones. But it does enough for the purposes that we need. So what you're going to do is you're going to put it here, and it is right click to drop. I believe I saw one back here. Sometimes it can be kind of finicky, because it might not always land right side up. Alright, so it only took us one that time. Now they will show up in our inventory. You can pet him. And you can see he has an inventory as well. He has, I believe, 10 slots, so you can have him carry stuff. We are in mild, but I believe in medium or woe mode. It's the same concept as friendly fire. Friendly fire is not a thing in mild, but it is in woe mode and medium. You can see you got a symbol here, and he will teleport to you when you're far enough away. But in mild and woe mode, he will take damage. They can die, and when they die, they will drop a. It's a little dark, but they'll drop a gravestone that you can place down, and they'll drop all their items, and of course a piece of meat. And with pets, you can make armor for them. And there is a pet house where you can name them that you can make out of mushroom brick, but of course to unlock that you need the mushroom brick. For the mushroom brick you need an oven, and we're not quite at that part yet. So this is just how it's going to be for now. You'd also need the pet house to equip the armor. So it's just a fun little way to start this video. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start working on the tier 2 items. The insect axe, the insect bow, the spider fang dagger, and we're also going to work on unlocking the insect hammer, but you need to kill a stinkbug to do that. But we'll get to that later. First thing is the axe. Now for this, we're going to have to finally kill a ladybug, but I figure along the way there's an area we need to go to get the Bombardier Beetle as well, near the hedge, and that is where we will find the compliance badge, which is, in my opinion, the most overpowered item in the game. If you master the perfect block, if you memorize the attack patterns of all the bugs, you're pretty much unstoppable. Because, here, Ladybug, the compliance badge heals you every time you perfect block. Here's a Ladybug. So you can see they're weak to busting, so we're going to use the hammer. Now, these guys are a little more aggressive, a little more tough. They have a charge. They have that first attack that's a bit harder to tell when they're going to do it. Here, I think they're attacking the weevil. And that one. They also have it kind of like they try to shoulder check you like a wrestler. This, they heal. You might have just seen that. They have a sort of yell. They heal. They have a couple quick attacks like that. Charge. Okay, do the last one. There it is. And they do hit pretty hard. Like, oh, okay. Maybe I shouldn't have risked that. But I guess it's an important thing to showcase. I have the ant armor on too, so they are pretty violent and pretty hard hitting. So it's definitely important to block, and definitely important to know what their telegraphs are. And as I've said numerous times before, with practice, you'll get an eye for it. You'll get a keen eye for the subtle distinctions in their behavior and their movement. This it might not seem like it's doing much, but ow! But you can tell the hammer is doing the most damage out of what I have. I should say, employ some strategy. Make sure you put negative status effects on your enemies whenever you're able to, because that will definitely help. Okay, that... Oh, see? He saved me. Alright, and we got the head from that. You're not always guaranteed the head. Sometimes you might have to kill more than one, but we got lucky there. The thing I will say about the Ladybugs is that there is no specific spawn area like there are for quite a few of the other ones. So you really just kind of have to happen upon them. They are all in the lower yard. That's this main area here. This is the lower yard, and up here is the upper yard where all of the late game will happen. But now, this is a good path that I take to the hedge. Try to kill this thing. This is a very safe path that I like to take up to the hedge. You can climb on top of the log, and you'll see here it'll carry you most of the way. Now later on there will be a bunch of mites up here, but again, they're more of an annoyance than any real threat. You can jump down and grab this. Here we go. Grab this field station. I would say always check out the field stations, because you might find the cassette tapes and the files, give you more backstory about stuff. One thing I should mention, this is an important mutation to have. The meat shield, it basically increases your max health, and that's one that we're going to have on for the entirety of the game. So I would say save up for this at least.
Verbal transcription unit 89.4.14. Order number 80.
Virgil, are you there?
Yes, sir. It appears that the shrinking process has not overly affected my functionality. I do not know how this is possible.
I don't really use this, but this is a good place to find it
all the parts
if
of my
you
functional
want.
unit were required for operation, but apparently they were not. Perhaps that means I have some extra storage space.
Haha, very philosophical. Do you feel anything else?
No, everything appears to be the same. Though I have come to realize that this world is absolutely covered in filth. It is quite concerning. You may wish to wash your hands before returning to work.
Alright, I paused here, because there's a couple things I want to mention. First of all, there was a larva over there. We're going to fight them as well soon. These might stop being annoying. So this head, this toy head here, there is
Guys, look!
a cave
It's an
with a
original
wolf spider.
1982 yoked girth
Just be
action
careful
figure.
with that.
Well, some of them, anyway.
These pile of leaves also house a wolf spider. Here's the larva.
It's a larva.
Also house a wolf spider.
Shelob's
They're
ghost.
only active really at night. And then under the porch there is another wolf spider, but we'll get to that once we get the compliance badge and once we need the spider dagger. I'll show off how to fight those pretty soon. Over here, around this corner area of the hedge, you're going to find one of the spawn points of the Bombardier Beetle. And this is one of those bugs that I had no idea actually existed until I looked it up for this game. They are, let's see if we can attract one, because they're a bit of a pain to deal with early on. There's 3 of them that spawn here. Alright. They say he was weak to chopping and fresh. You can see they are completely ranged. If you stand in this, you'll take damage from it as well. I'm not going to show how hard they hit, because that was a mistake last time. And they only have 1 melee attack. I'll try to show that off, if he'll let me. Like that. There it is. So you can try to get close. Hello! Guess you guys wanted part of a duet. You know what? Nah. Okay. There's plenty of larva. Oh, okay. Here's a thing to, never mind, I thought they were gonna fight. If the, there we go. So if 2 bugs hurt each other accidentally, you can get them to fight. So, let's see how this goes. That can be a useful tactic. If you're able to lure, like, say, a ladybug and a wolf spider together, you can get the wolf spider to hit the ladybug instead of you. You'll get them to fight. Now don't run away. Alright. Let's deal with you. So, yes, they are mainly all ranged attacks, except for that one. You notice they have... Let's see from
Bombardier Beetle.
guy. They have that one, they kind of launch a sort of ball. There's another one where it is more of a spray. That might have been it. Grass blocked it. And then there's the one where they kind of fire... Ow. They fire sort of a... not sure what to call it, but it's... oh my god. I don't have any healing items. I need to be careful of this. They have the one where they fire quite a few shots around themselves. Oh my god. Ooh, okay. This is one reason that I do not like fighting in the grass. You can get backed up pretty easily. And get cornered in a bad spot. I believe if we take a detour, one good thing about the fiber bandage efficiency, I just need one plant fiber and one sap, and I can heal from this. Just get that in. Yes, that's the one I was talking about. Fired around themselves. See, this is where the negative status effects will help, because if you have an enemy that will keep you at range for a while, having a status effect to continue doing damage while you're running is very helpful. There we go. Over here, it's going to be around in this corner. I believe one time I counted about 20 larvae, so we're going to have a perfect spot to showcase their attacks. One other thing I should mention is that as you gain an idea of the bugs, their attacks, all that stuff, what motions to watch out for in the corner of your eye, you'll also pick up a keen ear for the different sounds they each make, to stay alert to when they become aggressive and to when they're idle and just nearby. I try to keep you away. I know I woke up the other one, but... so... they usually attack with that one first, where they will rear back. Sometimes it can be part of a 3-part combo. I believe it is part of a 3-part combo if you don't block it. They also have this lunge, where they flare their mandibles. Yep. It can either be a 2 or a 3-part combo. That's about all they have. They're pretty easy. Specifically, I learned recently, this just says larva, they are specifically green lacewing larvae. I found that out when I found a lacewing in my house, and later at work, I had one of these fall on my hand from the tube that the canisters come in at the drive-up at a bank. I grabbed it after a customer sent something in. I had one of these fall on my hand. I was pretty sure I recognized it. I wasn't completely certain until I looked it up, and then I realized that it was specifically a green lacewing, and that it was indeed the thing that Jackson hates so much from Grounded, so I made sure to send him a picture of it. He was very appreciative. I got this. And now it should just do my work for me. And the larvae, as well as worker ants, will begin running away. That I should make a note of. It says they are aware of your presence. So there are there are kind of 3 levels of that. It's basically a warning to when they will start attacking your base. I believe the first one is they're aware of your presence. Second one is that they are annoyed by you. The third one says they want you gone. And when that one pops up, that means that they can attack your base. And that's basically a defense event sort of thing. There will be like a alarm horn that goes off, sound effect, and you'll have to fight off a few waves of them as they attack your base. So that's just what that means. Now this guy is the solution to all of our problems. He has the compliance badge. More specifically, what he is in the story. He is a... If we open up the data, threat detected. I'll kill it. Well, if we go to data and look at this, it's a recon journal. So the company that Wendell was a part of, the Ominent, they shrunk down their own people and sent them into Wendell's yard to spy on his research. That is who this unfortunate soul is. And very clearly, they did not survive, as we have. And you'll find, he's not alerted, you'll find pictures of what they're working on. You can see this is inside the spacer near the spawn area. And this, I believe, is an antenna sticking out of the hedge. So this is a place we'll go to at the end of the video. We'll actually get to what this antenna is. But this is like some interesting stuff. And of course we get the badge. We get the badge off of him. As you can see, parry heal. It lessens your resistance to damage, but that's a small price to pay. But I find it really interesting that they incorporated this as part of the story. That there's random skeletons around, like the one we found on the anthill last video, of these people who were also shrunk, put into the yard, started to survive, but ultimately died horrible and gruesome deaths that are, I believe some of them are detailed in these notes. They're mostly like journals and stuff about how much they hate that they're doing this. And some of the stuff that they've spied out. But it's very interesting. I like that. I like that at first you just find these random tiny human skeletons with no explanation, but eventually you get it. As you've probably already guessed, this was a great place to get larva parts. This is probably the only spawn point you'll ever need to go to find them. They do spawn in other areas, but this is obviously the best spot if you need larva parts. I'll quickly put the compliance badge on to showcase what it does. I'll let it hit me a few times, just to get my health down. Come on, boys. Alright, so now, every time, that absolutely failed. Now I really need it. Every time I perfect block, look at how much it healed me. This is why it is imperative to get good at it. Look at that. It is the most overpowered thing in the game. And I will showcase that right now, because we are going to wake up a few wolf spiders now. So now we're going to go anger the one under the leaves here. I believe I said before they are poisonous, and it's a pretty potent poison early on.
I spy.
Later on they become even easier to kill. There is a tier 3 spicy weapon that kills them in about 3 hits, but I'm actually going to let it poison me and then show you how overpowered the compliance badge is, because if you perfect block this thing, even as you're poisoned, even as you're losing health, it pretty much keeps you alive. These are my mortal enemies. Okay, so now we're gonna... Never mind. Come on. this is going to keep me alive until the poison effect wears off. It's pretty much going to match the damage that I lose. So I'm just going to let him go through his attacks. I believe I said with the Orb Weavers that, for the most part, all the spiders' attacks, gosh darn it, all the spider attacks are really similar, with a few exceptions. At least the wolf spider, at some point, he will have a 5-part combo instead of a 3-part combo. He also has that jumping attack there. The reason I say they're my mortal enemy is because I will always remember the first time I encountered one on the game that I played with my sister and brother-in-law. We had a wolf spider attack our base. We were not prepared for it, and we died horribly, but he insisted that we pursue it with vengeance and kill him. Let's just say it was a very eventful fight. And, of course, there was also the time that Jackson and I... There it is. 4, 5.
I've been poisoned.
There's also the time that Jackson and I, early on, we got attacked by 3 in a row. Not even in a row, 3 at the same time. And we had no weapons, so we kind of just had to fist fight them all. What does it say? Chopping. I suppose I'll take this out too. But again, like the other spiders, the wolf spider telegraphs very obviously. The one that might have a little trouble with is his 5-part combo. Let's see if we can get him to do it again. Once he does that, he starts that pretty quickly. But it's a pretty easy rhythm to get used to. So there's that one. We're going to now go over to the one here. I believe it is the second one with the mushrooms. It's not this first one. I believe, yes. I've pointed out numerous times how I seem to have gone on a character arc playing this game. I used to be absolutely terrified of these things, and now I'm perfectly. I willfully pursue them with a hunter's glee. With absolutely no worry in the world. What the? This is another reason why I hate fighting in grass. Food station's closer. So I suppose this is a good opportunity to talk about what happens when you die. Now, this used to suck a lot more, because early on, in earlier versions, you would only keep the thing that you had equipped in your hand. And so if you died in a really bad spot, you would have to go and get your backpack. It really sucked, because you would lose everything except what you had in your hand. I just lost, like, the bug parts. I actually have no idea where the backpack is. That sucks. It's not telling me, and I flew into space when I died. So I actually have no idea where to find my backpack with all the items. I'll look for that off camera. Excuse me! Which means, do I have the compliance badge? I do. Well, that's reassuring. Also, if you die, you'll have to reclaim your weevil. Or your pet. Will it tell me where my back? No, it won't. Wow. I mean, I would like... the Bombardier Beetles and the larva, they take some time. You know what? I have an idea. I have a way to cheat this. Let's just reload the last save. Alright. So now, as I said before, there is another one under the yoked girth head. It's kind of right in the entrance, so I won't come in too fast. I would bring him out a bit, because he's... Ooh! Okay. There's one reason why it's good to keep a keen eye for their attacks. Ah, that is a spiderling. There's several there, I see. I'm not really going to worry about them. I mean, honestly, he's going to help me heal any damage they do. I would definitely kind of bring him out of the cave, because it can be a bit difficult to tell when he's going to telegraph. Alright, I can deal with these guys. They will only ever drop web fiber. And their attacks aren't really worth perfect blocking. They do pretty little damage. That mutation, the Barbarian, I'm not entirely sure what that does. I believe we've got a few more. Annihilator does more damage to the ants. This one, it gives you poison resist, but it's never been very good for me. And of course, I've always just perfect blocked as it is. So, I never really use that. Take another Scabby. And I will, when we unlock them and stuff, I'll definitely point out which mutations to keep on you at all times. There is under here, there is this wooden plank. There is another wolf spider there. There are some spiderlings as well. It's also a good place to get a little food if you're hungry.
Let there the brave adventurer strode forth, approaching the mouth of the foreboding cave. What horrors awaited within?
I hear him sleeping in here. Ah! Alright, so now that he's dead, I believe... Yes, there is a milk molar in here. You need the tier 2 hammer to get that. And we will come back to all the ones that we have passed so far once we get the tier 2 hammer, so don't worry about that. Now, as long as we're around here, there is another flagpole quest over here at Trowel Gulch. So if you want to come get this...
Look at that ant go.
Where am I? Oh, here we go. I'm not entirely sure this is
Taking a
safe.
look.
I do believe there are some stinkbugs that come around here. I don't know when they will spawn. Glad I came here. Let's analyze some stuff first. Grab this.
I've thought about this in circles for days now, and I've come to a decision. It's time to
Okay, let's turn this on real quick. You can get rid of the Grassmaster, turn on the meat shield. Look at that, we've got some more health.
Ominent may not believe in it, but I know its potential. Though I must figure out how to return shrunk objects to their original size. The first step will be to address the particle transcription errors. It seems almost certain that the irregularities are responsible for the failure during the demonstration. Burgle, please bring up all the lab data about the unknown particles.
Happy to be of service. Notes will be prepared and delivered to your table in 4 hours or less.
4 hours? What are the chances for less?
Delivery estimate will be prepared in 2 hours or less.
An auspicious beginning.
I will make a quick note. The demonstration he mentions
Hey,
there is
Finn.
something we'll learn about later on. Over here in the trash heap, there's some stuff that he has thrown away, detailing his time at the company. Well, aren't you just a lovely camper? There is at least one that comes around here. He just happens to be right where I need to go. Now, there is another field station in this cave in here. If you break down these, if you break these acorn shells, you're going to have an explosive rock that you need a bomb to break. I believe you're actually going to have 2, and there's going to be a cave with a,
it's
going to be a cave with a fuel station in there, but there isn't really anything in it. So I'm not going to go through and do it, but there is a field station there if you're interested in finding them all and 100%ing the game. And then the last wolf spider spawns I'll show you is this one. There should be 2 in here, which means the other one is out here somewhere. That's not comforting. And no, it is not in here. Well, quick note. I believe... Okay. Calm down. Yes, right here there is another explosive wall with a milk molar behind it. And we'll probably get that. It's not entirely necessary, but there is one back there if you ever... Again, if you're the kind who wants to do 100% stuff. Alright, now we can get a few things out of the way. So the insect axe. There's your tier 2 axe, you can replace that. Put the old one in your chest, or get rid of it, trash it. Doesn't really matter. Next up is the spider fang dagger. You can put that. This is when I would add the hammer to your, sort of your utilities spot. Because you're not gonna fight quite as much with it. It is the spider dagger has a poison effect that you can stack on top of your bleed effect from the spiky sprig. So again, there is another instance of utilizing status effects to their full potential. The insect bow, we need 2 more rope, which I have currently spinning over here. Alright, and now, let's see, this only does about a bar of damage, this one does 2. And this was where I began cutting myself off, at least on the ranged weapons. The insect bow was all the farther I went. The tier 3 bow is made out of the parts of the Wasp Queen boss. And there is a crossbow, but I never really used it because I personally, in real life, I prefer bows over crossbows, and so in the game I completely ignored the crossbow, even though it is immensely more powerful than the bows. But this will do for now. Now that we have some of those tier 2 weapons, we can now work on the second floor of the base. I should mention, now with the tier 2 axe, have the ability to cut down a few more things to analyze. First, you can cut down toadstools and mushrooms. You are able to now cut down the husky weed, which I believe drops upwards of 12 to 20 weed stems. And as you saw over here, there was an apple core. You can cut that and get apple chunks. And around the yard, you'll find pieces of, they call it a billy hog. It's basically a hot dog. You'll find pieces of that you can cut, and you can get bites out of that. And the Oreos you can smash, but you'll need that with a you'll need a insect hammer for that.
Science.
That's just a little bit like of extra food sources that you're able to get now. And the only thing that the difference between the mushroom chunk and the toadstool chunk is different amounts of mushroom slurry that you can get from them. So yet another reason why this is a good spot. There's a couple toadstools here, and each chunk will give you 10 slurries, which will be very helpful when the time comes to make mushroom breaks. But now we are getting on to the second floor of your base. So, first, of course, the walls. You're going to, again, with all of your main walls, I would recommend, just for not feeling too crowded and claustrophobic, just to make it 2 panels high. And we're going to divide this, I would say, keep about 2 panels of space for your room, and keep this main area here. You can use a door frame. You don't really need to open and close the door. We keep this area here for where the jerky racks are going to be. We'll get to that in a minute. Alright, now, just like last time, now that you've got the walls up, I want to put some lighting. This is where I usually start putting up the plant lamps. They seem to fit a bit better around here than down below. Down below here, you don't really have many places to put them because it's filled with stuff. But here, you're going to have a little more space. So I'd put at least one in each of the 4 corners to start with, and then you can add where you'd like it to. Alright, now that you got a little bit of lighting, we're going to take on the last part and put in the stairs up to the 3rd floor. So again, same as before, we're going to start here. We're going to leave 1 gap for the landing, and then fill out the rest. Alright, so now that you've got the 2nd floor done, the main thing that you're going to put up here are the jerky racks. So these are not only used for drying out food to make jerky, which I've already discussed. Basically, jerky does not spoil, but it doesn't give you back as much hunger as a roast does. But these are more important for armor and weapons later on, because you can hang stuff like berry chunks and pupa hides, and you can dry that into leather, which you can then use in new recipes. So, we're not going to have everything we need for these right away. We're going to have to go kill a few more Bombardier Beetles, but there's quite a few places where they spawn, so I'll make sure to show those off. And I'll hang a piece of weevil meat so that it'll be ready to show off when we get back. So we need 9 Bombardier parts. The closest area is just past the red ant hill to these rocks over here. They usually like rockier areas, so we are going to head over there. It's not too far. Also take this opportunity to kill this Ladybug because the next armor set is going to be the Ladybug armor. And as I said before, they don't have a specific spawn area, so it's always best to kill them whenever you find them. But we are going to go just past here. And if we keep heading along this direction, we're going to find a rock. There should be a Bombardier Beetle underneath it. There are also orb weavers that spawn around this area, so just be a little careful. There are usually 2 beetles around here.
Bombardier Beetle here.
Okay. I was gonna say you can get up on that rock and take a safe look around, but you can also happen upon one like this as well. Let me hit you with that first. Great time to showcase the our tactic of stacking negative effects. The poison effect doesn't hit quite as often, but the knife, the daggers, are a very fast attack. But over here, there is another Burgle flag quest that you can do while you're at it. It is up on this fallen post, so if you come over here, a little bit of parkour, but it's nothing too bad. If you come up here, you will need a dandelion tuft for it. And you can do a running jump onto this nail. And then simple jump over here to grab some raw science while you're at it. Now the next spot to find a Bombardier Beetle is a little further up. It's kind of around in this general area. There's only, I believe, 1. There might be 2. He is around this area. He might surprise you. He always has with me, because it is hard to spot him sometimes through all the grass and leaves. Oh, I think I saw him. Here he is. Oh, there are 2. So this last spawn area that I know of is a little closer to home.
Worse than my mom's Brussels
It
sprouts.
is over this way. But it is, I would be careful coming around here. I would definitely stay up closer to this hill because there is a stink bug up there. But I wouldn't go up onto this mound either because there are some infected bugs that we're not ready to fight yet. So I would come up around here. He's over by that paint can. Don't go too far into that area because that's where you will start to get the poison effect. Sometimes there is a dead Bombardier Beetle because in the haze, in that toxic area, you will find dead bugs. Bugs can wander in, and they will also take damage from it and eventually die. And you can find them and loot them, loot their bodies. There might be
Taking a look.
one around here. There is. If you're feeling brave enough, you can certainly go and try to loot that one. There's also a lot of mites around here if you need any. So usually he's around behind here, I believe. Somewhere around. But not always. This is usually a bit of a last resort. I don't see him. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the rotten food does. You can't analyze it. Fertilizer, there you go. On the garden patches to make stuff grow faster, but I personally don't use it. Alright.
New one for the beast, Jerry.
Infected gnat. Those ones are annoying. I usually never fight them because what they do is that when you hit them or when they bump into you, they make you drop whatever you're holding in your hand. And that is incredibly annoying, but here we go. Oh yeah, that's potent. Oh, here he is. He's not dead yet. He's just outside. Oh, let's change that. Now we can complete these. We just need the rope. I believe that is done now. Nice. It's the exact amount I need. So there are your jerky racks, and there is lethal jerky. So now with that done, we are first going to bring up your lean-to, because this is going to be your room up here now. Ow! I ask how you got in, as I'm looking at my open door. We're going to bring this up. Eventually this will be replaced by a bed. But now, in your room here, we are going to place 6 armor dummies for the 6 sets of armor that you're going to have. I've already pointed out the 3 clusters of clay that are near the spawn area, but the best spot to get clay is by these wetlands here and out here. You can't really find them, they're in the pond, but the best area to find them on land is near the wetlands. They are simply loaded with clay. As long as I'm here, I won't show off the 4-leaf clover that I mentioned in the last video. It is over here, around this area that I'm actually at here. Let me grab this last piece. Alright, so it is going to be in a deeper part, because you're going to have to swim to it. And I am admittedly going to cheat a bit. I'm going to turn the gamma up so I don't have to get an underwater torch for this. I believe it is, yes, it's right here. You can see it there. I am going to cheat. And I'm going to turn up the gamma so I can see underwater. Because it gets dark like it does in any of the other caves, and it gets hard to see. There's a scabby down here that you can grab real quick. And continue on. And you're going to come up in here. This is where you will find a 4-leaf clover. So it's a location that you can discover like any other. That, I believe, is a we have, if you notice, sometimes like great stones while you're here. At least grab the ones that you can, because there are 3 tiers. I believe back here. Yeah, I can see it up in the corner. This one is going to require a tier 3 hammer. This is green. And sturdy requires a tier 2. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start working on the Ladybug armor, which you should have unlocked by now. Now, the one thing we have not gone over is the berry leather. I believe you need that for all of them. Yes. And we actually have exactly the amount of flower petals that we need. So we just need to go get berry leather. With that, you're going to get berries. You get the berry leather from hanging berry chunks, and you get berry chunks from the hedge. So the berry chunks you get from chopping up berries, and these, it's real simple. You find them all over the hedge. All you do is you just shoot them down, and then you cut them up. I believe they give you around 3 to 4 pieces each. So Just shoot down a few berries. Don't lose your arrow like that. Oh my god. And every berry you see is something. Is a berry that you can get. It's not like any fake background berries. So now, what you do with the berry chunks is you just go hang them on the racks and hold 3 at a time. And I'm not entirely sure how long it takes. Again, things like this, the racks, the spinner, grinder, anything on a timer that you really have to wait for. If you do it at night before you go to bed, it'll immediately be done when you wake up. It doesn't matter how long it usually takes, it'll immediately be done when you wake up. So that's always a good, kind of a good strategy if you need something done right away. Alright, here's the thing. The crow feathers. You can get this to make... The thing I use it for is to make a actual bed. The thing is, there's not really any single spawn point for these. They kind of just show up. So, I mean, yeah, they come here, but you don't really... They don't, like, respawn here. One can just appear here, but it won't always. The only spots that I do know of where it's a guarantee to find a crow feather are in the canyons in the hazy area. In here, there's a bunch of canyons, and you will find crow feathers in there. That's really the only place where I know of that's a guarantee to find them. So I was going to wait until later to cover the crow feathers, but now that we just found one, I figured why not. And another thing, actually, aside from just the bed, there is feather arrows and a crossbow that are pretty good. Feather arrows also give a bleed effect, but I don't believe it's as potent as the spiky sprig. But still, it's a negative effect that you can apply at long range. And the crossbow, as you can see, is quite a bit more powerful than the regular bow. This rough reload is basically just your reload time. The animation to pull back and fit another arrow into the slot. And then, of course, a simple bed, and you get actually some bonuses from this. I believe sleeping in an actual bed will kind of decrease your hunger and your thirst drain for the day. So we can do that now while we're waiting for the berry leather to dry out. Alright, now we should have enough to make the Ladybug set. I misjudged. Unless these are done. No, they're not. Well, we'll have to wait on that a little bit longer. But as far as the first two pieces, see, they give a stronger block strength. Of course, this is heavy armor, so it needs a little more stamina to use your weapons. But as the whole set bonus, I believe you have a chance to heal with just any block, even a normal held block has a chance to heal you a little bit. So that's pretty useful. Now we can finish our bed. Can set the spawn point here and get rid of the tent. And I'll show off the effects when we're able to sleep. For now, we can use the first armor dummy to hold our ant armor. Alright. that, we can finish off the Ladybug set. And the set bonus, yes, occasionally heal after blocking attacks. So I'm gonna go test that out right now on an ant.
Those soldier ants mean business.
You come here. Get mad at me. And hit me. Hit me more. Do it. I dare you. Do it. One more time. Get me down there and then I can... Oh, heck, excuse me. He's not... Okay, I actually didn't mean to do that. Oh, this guy's... Alright, come on, guys. Alright. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it does a very little amount. Just a very small amount. Alright, so the next thing we are going to do is go kill a Stinkbug to get a gas mask. Now the first Stinkbug you're going to want to kill from range because their poison effect is very potent. Their gas. Make sure I have my... So they spawn over here, not too far from the anthill. This is the anthill. They kind of spawn, there's a big open area here where there's about 5 of them. So, this is really the only spawn place I ever need to go to when I need Stinkbug parts. But I would absolutely kill them from range. Just on this first one, for the gas mask, you should only need 1 part. So they make it really easy. Make sure that you only have to kill 1.
Taking a look.
They usually hang out up there. If I can get up on this branch, you can usually see them. There they are. There's another one over on the right. Want to retreat? Not a good time. Stupid ant. Not a good time. If you're gonna jump, you might try to jump. Unless he's stuck. That's one good thing, you can usually get him stuck in this canyon. And there we go. Alright, we should have enough for the gas mask now. We don't. The rope, that's easy. Alright. So now, gas mask.
Feel a little less squishy
You can
now.
actually face a Stinkbug now. Alright, let's get away from it. Never mind, we're doing 2 at once. That's fine, not too bad. So first they'll jump. Always jump to get closer to you. And usually they'll always fill they'll always fill their abdomens up and release it like that. They also have a melee attack. Kind of shake their head to the side when they're about to go. That's all they do. Stabbing is trash. So this is a good time to go through the repairing feature. So first thing is that when your durability runs out, you're never actually going to lose it, like in Minecraft. Right, so it's not going to break and disappear, and you're going to have to make a new one. Like, you'll just won't be able to use it. It'll have a little repair symbol flashing over the icon. But all you do is you hit R, and it will tell you the items that you need to repair it. I clearly need more of that. But you just hit the space, and it automatically repairs it all the way to full durability. So that's really nice. Alright, now you should be able to make the insect hammer. So we go ahead and make that. We can now discard our pebblet hammer. And this is what we're going to use to break open milk molars. So now I'm going to go and show off where those are in the locations we've already been to. So the first one, you might remember, is in the red anthill. Come down this way.
Those soldier ants mean business.
Just kind of goes straight, and it is down nestled under this little overhang. So there's two types. There are those white ones, which are normal, and then the Mega Milk Molars are yellow, gold, and they upgrade different stuff. You'll see in a second when we check out the terminal. So the next one is under this can here, by the tree. If you do left control, you can crouch. So there's actually two that we can get through the Oak Lab here. Probably remember that the first one was in this room over here. This was a Mega Milk Molar. And the other one we can get isn't actually in the lab, but it is through... where is it? Over here. It's through this broken area here. Over here is the way into another anthill. Really, the only use coming here is the milk molar, which is why I didn't come here before. Now this is just, if you fall down where we crossed over that route, there's some water. And this is just that. It's just your way. If you fall, there's a way into the anthill still. And down here, there is a scabby. I believe that's it. There's some upgrade stones to grab as well. Now you can also get the sturdy variants. There's another mutation that would be useful for non-combat stuff, the rock cracker. Alright, the next milk molar is over here, on top of that can, over where we found the big rock where we found the Bombardier Beetles.
That as a pet.
pretty easy to get on top of the can because there is a yeah, there's a hot dog tray leaning against it. For here.
Don't even need to boil it.
Did not know that wolf spiders came over this way. Interesting. Alright, so I'm going to stop by and show what the milk molars do, because all the other ones that we have passed so far are on our way to the hedge. So you come to the ASL terminal and you have... I threw my hammer. I accidentally hit R as well. You come here, molar infusion upgrades. And these are the things that you can upgrade with the normal milk molars and the mega milk molars. The mega milk molars affect the entire group if you're doing multiplayer, so it only has things like arrow, resource, and consumable size. Now, a good thing to clarify is that everyone keeps the same amount of milk molars. It doesn't matter who finds them. It doesn't matter how anyone else spends theirs. So if I was playing with someone else, we both have 3 milk molars to spend. So me spending it on one of these doesn't take it from my partner's stock that he can spend. So my recommendation is to max out the mutations. Because right now you can only have 2 mutations active. And the max is 5, and you're going to need all 5. There are 5 core mutations that I have on at all times by the end of the game. And for this, I would say it doesn't really matter, but I would at least do some of the consumable, because that helps with stacking potions as well. I would probably do arrow as well. But now, we can, let's see, I would put on this one, just for the critical hit chance. Alright, so now we're going to end off the video by going to the hedge. Now the first one we're going to hit is this one underneath the wooden plank where the wolf spider was. Now he is here, so we're going to have to kill him again. Real quick, I would also recommend emptying your inventory out as much as possible, because you're going to find a lot of chests with a lot of stuff in them when you go to do the labs. Now the next one is going to be this spider, where we saw this wolf spider over here, under the house. Right here. It's just under the second or third little area over here, underneath the porch of the house. Now, before we head up into the hedge, I believe there is one last milk molar out on the ground here somewhere, kind of towards the back. There should be a broken piece of lab with a milk molar inside of it. Ah, here it is. It is way in the very back corner of the map. Right here. So this is not what I was thinking of. There is still a broken lab chunk somewhere. I believe it is probably up around here. Alright, so this is your way up into the hedge. It's a bit of a trek to the lab, because the lab is all the way over here. First, I am going to stop and show off this, the flag, the next burgle flag on the bird bath.
The Kinder Science lab modules have not held up as well as anticipated. I thought hiding these lab units in the hedge would provide a bit of protection from my rampaging children. But it appears not even the sanctuary of these leaves can protect my work from an errant flingman disc. The subsequent breaches in the lab structures have invited all manner of arachnid invaders to wander in. My plan is to recalibrate the tasty bots for defensive action. A stopgap solution, to be sure, but I've no time for repairs, not when I'm so close to unlocking the mysteries of raw science.
Alright, so this first area over here, I'm going to drop down from, because this is the...
Science.
Oh dear. Should come as no surprise that it's probably a good idea to have a dandelion tuft when you do this. This is the area with the that one guy that we found, the dead body with the compliance badge, and there were pictures. There was a picture he took of a satellite cone dish coming out of the hedge. This is that area. Now there should be right. I believe that is a rusty. Now these are like his own little miniature, kind of like Burgle. He's got a bunch of robots that help him, and some of them are obviously for defense.
Verbal transcription unit 87.10.25. Order number 73.
I find it a wonder that the Burgle Mark IVs never caught on. I believe them to be far superior to the Mark IIIs. Those never lived up to my expectations.
How's that?
They can only calculate post-cooking burger weights to the nearest tenth of a pound. And they only had enough memory for one seasoning module, salt or pepper. All solved with you Mark IVs, not to mention your most excellent moustaches.
Thank you. I will never forget this moment.
Yes, so this is a note explaining basically the resource surveyor, which is another feature in the field stations. You can use it to search for analyzed resources and find out where, basically where they spawn at. So yeah, this is a whole field note talking about this thing that we're about to activate here.
Surveyor connection established. Use survey stations to scan for analyzed materials.
Yeah.
Visit additional stations to expand the survey network.
Now let me see if I can remember how to get to the bird bath. It's not terribly difficult, but there is a little parkour and dandelion stuff involved. Kinda gotta know the right leaves to go off of, I believe. It's right after this first zipline that you do. You gotta get onto that, because that will take you out. So I believe it is... Okay, so it's these two. Yeah. There you go. Just be careful. Don't really rush anything. Come up here. There we go. Now, I will be careful. I'm not sure when the mosquitoes spawn, but there will be...
Taking a look.
I believe they're already here. Yeah, they're here. So I'd be careful not to let them knock you off. So I'd make sure you get... inside.
Giant mosquito! If only we had a bag of water and some pennies. Mark that one off the list.
Alright. Guess we're gonna be fighting some mosquitoes. Guy doesn't know what he's doing. Now, they usually do that one. Wow. Alright, yeah, go away. I do not want to get knocked off of this. Because they have knockback to their attacks. And it's quite annoying. Okay, there you are. So I have that one. It's chopping anyway. Alright, you might have seen that. They have one where they kind of... I don't like doing two at once. Where'd the other guy go? Alright, there it is. So when they kind of fly around like that, get a little jittery. They get a little jittery, and then that's their kind of like a warning before their 3-point combo. This guy. I heard you back there. Alright, let's deal with this guy. Alright. Let's see if we can actually get a clear shot of the 3-part combo. Sometimes they'll miss, because they're dumb. You gonna do anything? Or are you stuck? There it is. And as you can see, their abdomens get filled with blood the more they attack you. The only way to... So they drop a mosquito beak, and... They drop mosquito beaks and a mosquito blood sac. The only way to get the blood sac is if their abdomen is actually red. If you kill them without letting them hit you, you'll only get the beak, because they haven't taken any of your blood. Alright. I believe it is in that middle one. The flag. Yes. now, to
A
get
scientific
back,
breakthrough.
just go back the way we came. We're able to get back on the branch. There we go. Wow! Betrayed by my own weevil. Guess we're going the long way. Alright, so now that we're back on track, we're going to head over here. These are just egg sacs. Nothing is going to happen unless you break them, and then you'll get just a bunch of little
Spiderling, keep your eyes
spiderlings
open.
running around. Where? My guy's seeing things. Never mind. She knocked me off. Where did you go?
For so long, I have felt taunted by the spiders of the yard. Climbing, crawling, skittering with the greatest of ease. Oh, and how they delight in violating my workspace. I can't take a single step without getting stuck in their confounded webbing. I'm wasting daylight, running, climbing, surviving, traversing this broken lab, the entire yard for that matter, has become untenable. But perhaps my spider friends hold the key to my problems.
Alright, so this, over here, this
Taking a
is
look.
where you would find the first boss fight, but we won't get to that for a while. Don't worry, nothing's going to come out of that. You can even go inside and nothing's going to happen. You have to summon the bosses with a special recipe.
When you're off to the beach or a day at the park, doesn't matter the time, 'cause it glows in the dark. You can leave your toys home, except for just one, 'cause you can't leave your fling man without leaving fun. Never leave your fling man.
Excuse me? What was that? Alright. Over here, it told me.
Today, Trudy asked, or rather insisted, I take a break from my work for a family day. I'll admit the argument that preceded my reluctant agreement was one for the ages. She just doesn't understand how important the work is. But in the end, all was not lost. As fate would have it, our little trip to Stormin' Beach's Wave Park has given me fresh inspiration. A particular attraction sported a zip line over an undulating pool filled with sun-baked tubers, basking in the light of the cruel sun that baked them like red raisins. But I digress. It was the zip line that captured my imagination. Such an elegant solution to my problems in the hedge. When we got home, it was straight back to work. After another argument, of course.
So there we go, that's how he invented the zip line. And why it needs spider silk to make a zip line. Like they even kind of explain the crafting recipes. Now this undoubtedly is a maze, as you can see. Oh, it's quite fun to try to navigate. Alright, so for this, you are going to have to find pieces of password, gigantic, torn pieces of notepad that are laying around. I believe there are either 4 or 5 of them.
Early test runs on the zipline system have produced mixed results. Prices on steel cable are ridiculous, so I've been forced to proceed with my original idea, spider thread. I'm using web samples from my unwanted guests, with a few clever alterations, of course. Things were going well until Sarah threw yet another toy into the hedge. I swear that the lost city of Atlantis might be found beneath the roots of this blasted bush. I told them both, no baseballs, no Bully Man discs, no more throwing. I'll need to find a way to straighten the zip lines, and I've forbidden the children from playing in the yard, temporarily, of course. Dinner will be set. I would say awkward, I suspect.
Ah, there we go. Now you can see that the Orb Weaver Juniors are indeed poisonous at times. So you're gonna look for stuff like this, and there should be 4 of them scattered around here somewhere. Can you leave? I don't want to get stuck in the web. Now let's try this way. I don't remember exactly where everything is.
Taking a new one for the beast, Jerry.
Busting, eh? Ah, this is neat. So you can find these in the labs. There's one for an aphid, a weevil, and a koi fish, I believe, in the labs. And find these, and you can unlock a recipe for them to add them to your house as decoration. Ah, the heal blassa. This you use the mosquito blood sacks for. It heals. It's a thing that you throw down, and it kind of has an area of effect for healing. But I don't think it's that good because, first of all, it will also, I believe, heal the enemies that get caught in it in the area of effect. Second, it doesn't automatically throw down when you select the hotbar slot. You actually have to press R. So in the heat of a battle, that's not very convenient. This one here, let's take care of these guys. You are behind me. Now, aha! Okay, Mega Milk Molar down here. Don't you dare. Don't you dare knock me off. I will come back and fight you. Or is it... No, well, there's another milk molar. That's half rendered. I'm afraid to jump because I know I'll hit my head on the thing. Down here, I believe, is the way down. Yes. Entirely, this opens up. You can get
Scientific
down
breakthrough.
the rest of the way on these mushrooms here. Ow! Where were you hiding? Let's head over this way. There's also a few berry chunks that you can get just in the lab.
Science!
One long schnoz built for sniffing.
This.
Flying!
Well, you're gonna get knocked down from this, but you can jump right back on. Excuse me? What's going on with you? Okay. Interesting. I don't remember that. There's piece number 2. Yeah, this you just drop down. Ow. Ah, that's where I'm getting the work from, is you. Yeah, that first, they only really have the, I believe it's just the one combo there. I totally forgot to walk through their attacks. Are you kidding me? I just killed you. So, go away. But yeah, the first one is always a bit difficult to perfect block. So now, we can go up, back this way. Is this just a piece of... Can you move? Alright, just a piece of web fiber laying on the ground. Yeah. Tons of supplies here. Now, unfortunately, can't really bring any of these with. You can send them down the... You can send them down the zipline, but they kind of... They don't... I don't know. They kind of go flying when they reach the end. So unfortunately we cannot take all these planks and weed stems with us, but we'll take all the rest of this. This is why I wanted you to empty out your inventory as much as you could. There is a lot of stuff to grab here. Is that it? Alright. So now this is a bit tricky. You're going to want to jump off part way down, because you're going to... There we go. You're going to drop in through this hole here. It's the only way to get into this room, because both sides are locked by, they're locked from the other side by webbing. So there's piece number 3. I hear the raw signs, but I do not see it. Alright. Okay, so this is kind of a shortcut. Oh, I missed this.
Slowly, my torments come together into one
Yeah, we've already been
ingenious
here.
solution. After
We've already
trying
been here.
countless materials, I finally found something to fix my zipline problem. While the bonding formulas were complex to say the least, I've successfully fused the web ropes with raw science. Once again, it proves to be the key. The new ropes are miraculously soft, but have the tensile strength of forged steel. I've dubbed my new creation
right.
Zippy Fiber. Just think of the practical applications.
Dental floss.
Oh, only something without gums would suggest that. This is not some trifle to pick parsley between trips to the periodontist.
I will take your word for it, Dr. Tully.
Alright, so yeah, those two paths don't actually go anywhere. I believe I'm finally actually starting to get an idea of the layout of this place. So the last place we can go is here. Now the berry will knock you down, so make sure you shoot it. I see that spider in there, so we're gonna be ready. Now be careful, there is... Excuse me, it's not what I wanted to be careful of. There was a hole somewhere. No. My mistake, the hole, we've already been to the hole. I believe this is the last piece of the password. Yes, so there are 4 pieces. Let's check out this area first. That... Okay, it's just a scabby. And over here is what? Here. Ah, alright, so that's that area. That was locked before. Okay. Now, we need to head back to where we started, which I believe was this way, if I know my way around now. Yes, haha! I've finally found my way around the maze. So now we head back down here. And get this piece of raw science that we missed right away. Alright, and now that will unlock this room here. Here we have 2 important things. One, we have the super chip story. Next, we have this. This is the duper disk for the super duper in the Yolk Lab that I mentioned earlier, where you can duplicate your items for the cost of raw science. What the disks do is it increases the amount of raw science you can spend, which consequentially allows you to duplicate more things, because rare items cost a lot more to duplicate.
It is likely that this will be my last log from the Hedge Lab. Regrettably, the spider infestation has only worsened. Last night, I had a close encounter with a giant brood mother that shook me to my core.
That's the first boss, by the way.
Couple that with the strange radio signals I've been receiving, and I no longer think this facility
Probably
is
from the
safe.
spy whose body we found outside the hedge with the compliance badge. I just thought about that.
Burgle here. Can I start you off with a double-charred barbarian bacon burger? It's made the Roby's way.
Burgle, initiate evacuation protocols for the Hedge Lab. Make sure any remaining biometric scanners and passcodes are encrypted in the mainframe.
Is that really necessary, sir?
Yes. Oh, yes. Absolutely necessary. We're being watched.
A super chip. I wonder how we'll get Burgle's memories off of this. I wonder if I have to blow on it. That usually solves the problem. That
So I've
or
heard.
flipping the console upside down.
I have not heard that one before.
Or maybe there's some little extraneous plastic tabs I need to snip off.
Alright. Let me find the area down to where the mushrooms were. It's here. It might have been here. Yes, alright. So now we just have to go and give this back to Burgle. I'll stop in a few places for some more milk molars and a scabby, I believe. That is the piece I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yep. So I was right, it was up here. Wow, you noticed me, but he didn't. Interesting. Alright, so there's the first one. There are 2 other broken lab pieces, I believe.
I spy.
I believe.
Hey,
Yeah,
Finn.
that's just the one that's up in the hedge. Okay, here's the second one.
Help! I'm stuck!
Science!
I'm holding raw science in my hands.
I hear
What's it
one
even mean?
walking. Yes, there are the legs. Okay, let's play this.
Virgo Transcription Unit 89.10.5. Order number 20.
Virgo, did you organize my research notes on the material properties of the hedge berries as I directed?
Of course. Well, no.
Good. Wait. Explain.
I have logged 110,437 different algorithms for organization and compiled them into an alphabetical list. That menu is being printed now and should be ready for review in approximately 12 weeks. After that is complete, I will be able to organize your research notes based on the algorithm you select.
Well, let me know when it's done then.
Alright, so then down here is going to be the biggest piece of the lab that's broken. This door, by the way, over there, that's just a quick way up and down. It spits you out around here on the ground by the bird bath. We're going to go this way because there's a little something to do first. First off, there's something kind of weird. Another dead body. Where is... Here it is.
My mom always says I light up her room.
So... Oh, the body's not even here. But here you can find a rotten ant club. I wonder if the rotten weapons come from the spies that were in the yard, just like the armor does. And then everything else. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. And I guess this guy liked making ant totems. And whatever this is. Now over here is going to be a mixer. These, I can't remember if I've explained it before, so I will explain it now. These are devices that, kind of the in-universe explanation is that they are his attempts to replicate and recreate raw science. But they have the unfortunate side effect of angering the nearby bugs, which come to attack it. So basically like a defense event. You activate it, it has a health bar, you can build walls and defenses around it, and you have to protect it from these attacking bugs for a certain amount of time, and once that time is up, you'll have, I believe, about 2,000 raw science that you can get from this. And there is 8 of them around the yard.
Science!
Now let's review the progress of the last few months. I am getting ever closer to perfecting the spacer. Raw science containment has been a success. At last measurement, we are within 0.2% translation accuracy, but those final infinitesimal bits have proven the most difficult. Despite that, Burgle and I have been able to transit the miniature world without incident. I must admit it has been a bit overwhelming of late. Between school grading papers, nightly work in the yard, and this sweltering summer heat, I feel stretched thin. Some nights I find myself too exhausted to work on my experiments. All this is going to give me gray hairs. I mean, right the other day, Trudy said that the stress is putting new wrinkles on my face. She may have a point about the hair, though. As much as I'm loath to admit it, it does seem to be thinning. Perhaps it's time to dig out the Sketty clamp and try it on myself. I'm sure it's in a bin or box around here somewhere.
I'm not sure what that actually is. I don't think I want to know. Well, I should have gone while we were still up there. Actually, I can. There is another milk molar up in this corner here, along with a Stinkbug, so you need your gas mask. But I will go and grab that real quick, as long as we're up here. So this is where the door puts you out. So we're just going to use that and head back. Head back up to grab that milk molar. I know. So this was the corner. It should be along this wall here somewhere. Here it is. Alright, so this is the resource surveyor. And you can search for any analyzed resource and it'll show up in these areas, these red pixels here. So I want to find out where I can get acorns. Let's see it here. Ah, yeah, that's the Trowel Gulch, where you need the bomb. Or if I want to find apples. Or berries. Or clovers. Or just grass. Maybe I need to find out where I can get some grass. And you see this outline here. This is like the range. So the more you explore, the more field stations you find. It'll be able to scan other parts of the yard. And I believe it will also, it'll show up on the map too, so. Now there was a milk molar that I failed to mention when we were here by the oak tree before. It is over this way, past the entrance to the oak lab. If you kind of stay up along the tree, this is the tree, you will eventually, right here, this area where you will have usually a wolf spider spawn. But I suppose right now there is an orb weaver here. I don't know if I mentioned before, a good tactic, a good beginner tactic for, there's the wolf spider. I saw your shadow before I saw you. Of course he's going back to his hole. A good tactic, to make sure that you don't, get hit too much before you're able to know it's coming this way. How do they always know where I am, even though they're not even aggro?
Any better than with my glasses.
But a good technique that I used when I was first starting out, if you're not quite good at recognizing when they're going to attack, only attack in your 3-part combo. Like only do 3 attacks each, because you'll be able to fit in 3 attacks between each of theirs. So just to play it safe, you can do 3 attacks, wait for them to attack, and you can block it, then do 3 more.
Always happy to see a repeat customer. How can I help you today? Huh, you made it back in one piece. How unexpected. You are more resourceful than I thought. Hand it over and we can see what data Dr. Tully backs up upon it. Processing. Processing. This is the Hedge Super Chip. Forgive me, I forgot to mention the nasty spiders before I sent you up there. I hope they were not too much trouble. Ha-ha! Ah. I am feeling much more like myself. Take it from me, there's nothing quite like a reverse lobotomy. Thank you. Of course, Dr. Tully has included emotional programming to make me more human-like. Feelings enhance my cooking and grilling features. Every burger flip has a great deal of love put into it. Now, what is it you were wanting to know? Oh yes, the location of the other super chips. There are 4 labs throughout the yard, each with a super chip. The Hedge Lab, the Pond Lab, the Haze Lab, and the Black Ant Lab. And you have already made it through the hedge, so now on to the others. I will mark the locations of the super chips in those labs. Please find them and return to me so we can figure out how to repair the spacer. Oh, before you leave, check out the new recipes in the ASL Terminal Science Shop. That could be helpful for some of the tougher challenges. Please refrain from being eaten by spiders, Peter Boggs.
Oh, I do that quite well. Now you can see what new stuff we have unlocked. You also get quite a bit of cross science for giving him back his chip. Zip lines I would definitely grab. You can get the ladder as well if you want. Really, just you can spend your cross signs any way you want, just make sure you get the zip lines. And this, again, I would focus on maxing out the mutations first, just to be sure that you're able to have all 5. But I am going to end it there. The next video is going to be a little shorter. It's mainly just going to focus on getting some of the stuff that you need for the pond, some of the water gear, and mostly focusing on the pond lab.